In my coffee bean board tutorial, I had some questions as to why I sanded to such high grit before applying the flood coat. In this video, I'll go over what I do when I have to put multiple layers of flood coats on the boards. This tray has already had one flood coat, and as you can see, there are a lot of ripples, imperfections, and bubbles. Well, we gotta get those out. Tighter grained woods like olive wood have a smoother finish when sanded to higher grits, making the first flood coat less likely to have imperfections. For those of you new to the term flood coat, I'm talking about the final coat of epoxy you apply over the top of an entire board, giving it that glossy finish. I started with 220 grit sandpaper, but it wasn't coarse enough, so I had to go down to 120, then back to 220. I saw this tip on a video from Blacktail Studios, and that's to use 91% isopropyl alcohol to clean the epoxy before your flood coat. It was cold the morning I filmed this, so I put the epoxy in a bucket of warm water to make it easier to pour. I measured out a 4-ounce concoction of the table coat epoxy. It's better to have too much than not enough. I reached out to Super Clear Epoxy for some advice on how to prevent the ripples on the sides I was getting, and they said sometimes coating the sides first helps with this. These epoxy boards can be a tedious and somewhat aggravating process, but to me, the end result is worth it. I'm using a heat gun to pop any bubbles, and then 24 hours later it's ready to be flipped. I'm not applying epoxy to the bottom side, but I will be using mineral oil on it. Superclear also mentioned taping the bottom of the boards with painter's tape to keep from having to sand these drips off, but I obviously forgot to do that. I'm using this Rocaris countersink bit to re-drill out the holes for the handles where the epoxy filled in. Use the countersink bit on the top side at your own discretion. The bottom side is going to get sanded at 120 grit, 220, and then finally 320, cleaning with mineral spirits between grits. Now for the higher grits. I started at 800 grit as that was the lowest of the high grits I had on hand. I worked my way up through the grits to 4000. This is the polish I use for a lot of my boards and trays in combination with the Scotch-Brite style buffing disc. This Wizard's polish is actually meant to be used as a 3-part polish. I already had the micro abrasive polish on hand, so I'm using this more so for the sealant portion. Plus it's got a nice scent to it. I do plan to try the whole Wizard's polishing system in the future. Using a microfiber towel, I'll buff it clean and then start installing the handles. I use tape to mark where I want to cut the bolts if they're too long. Tighten them down and do an obligatory lift test, and finish it off by wiping the bottom with mineral oil. As always, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.